You are not struggling. You have not been struggling for 6 years. But everyone around you has decided that you are, and at some point you stopped correcting them because the correction would have required an explanation and the explanation would have changed something you weren't ready to change. The number in the account this morning is $900,000. You checked it at 6:47 a.m. standing at the kitchen counter in the same gray t-shirt you've had since 2019, eating toast over the sink because you didn't feel like sitting down. The notification came in quietly, the way all the important things in your life have come in, without announcement, without anyone else in the room, without a feeling that matched the size of what just happened. $900,000. You put the phone face down on the counter. You finished the toast. You rinsed the plate. Nobody knows. Not your mother, who called last Tuesday and mentioned, gently, the way she mentions things she's been thinking about for weeks, that if you ever needed anything, she and your father were there. You said thank you. You meant it. You did not tell her what the account said because the sentence does not exist yet that could carry that number from your kitchen to hers without rearranging everything between you. Not your college friends, who have a group chat that moves in waves, bursts of activity when someone gets engaged or promoted or has a baby, then weeks of quiet. Last month someone posted about refinancing their mortgage at 7.1% and 3 people responded with the specific exhausted humor of people who are managing something they didn't fully anticipate. You read it. You did not respond. You have $900,000 and a mortgage you paid off 14 months ago and you said nothing because there is no version of saying something that doesn't end the friendship as it currently exists. Not your coworker Dana, who has covered for you twice when you left early and who once said, unprompted, that she admired how unbothered you seemed by everything. You said you were just tired. She laughed. You were not tired. You were doing math in your head about whether to move $40,000 from the high-yield account into the index fund before the end of the quarter. This is what the silence actually looks like from the inside. It started when you were 26. Not with a plan exactly, more with a feeling. The feeling that something about how everyone around you was handling money was slightly off, and that if you just stopped doing the thing they were doing, something different might happen. The thing they were doing was spending what arrived. It started when you were 26. Not with a plan exactly, more with a feeling. The feeling that something about how everyone around you was handling money was slightly off, and that if you just stopped doing the thing they were doing, something different might happen. The thing they were doing was spending what arrived. Every raise absorbed. Every bonus visible within 60 days in the form of something newer, something nicer, something that announced the raise had happened. The logic was never stated because it didn't need to be. It was just the water. You earn more, you spend more, you stay exactly as far ahead as you were before, which is to say not very. You were 26 and making $48,000 a year at a mid-size insurance company doing claims processing. The work was not interesting. The salary was not impressive. But it came every 2 weeks, reliably, and you had noticed something that nobody around you seemed to be paying attention to. The paycheck arrived. And for approximately 72 hours after it arrived, you had options. After 72 hours the options narrowed. Rent was paid, the card was paid, the subscriptions renewed, the groceries happened, and whatever was left, usually somewhere between $60 and $200, sat in a checking account earning nothing until the next paycheck arrived and the cycle ran again. The window was 72 hours. So you started moving money in the first 24. Not a large amount. $200 the first time, transferred manually on a Thursday morning before you had time to think about it, into a Roth IRA you had opened 3 weeks earlier and not yet funded. It felt like losing $200. That is exactly what it felt like. Not investing. Not building. Just losing $200 to an account you couldn't easily touch. Then the month passed and you still had rent and you still ate and nothing actually collapsed and the $200 was still there in the Roth, slightly larger because the market had a decent week, and something quiet shifted in the way you understood the relationship between money and time. You did it again the next month. Then you automated it so you didn't have to decide. That was 8 years ago. The $200 became $400 when you got a raise at 28 and put half of it into the contribution instead of into the apartment upgrade your roommate suggested you could finally afford. You kept the same apartment for 2 more years. Your roommate moved into a nicer place across town. His rent was $340 more a month. He mentioned it was worth it for the light. You automated another $170 a month and didn't say anything about the light. At 29, your car needed a transmission repair that cost $2,200. Every person you mentioned it to said some version of the same thing, that it wasn't worth fixing a car that old, that you should just get something newer, that the repair cost was basically a down payment. You got the transmission fixed. The car ran for 3 more years after that. You put the equivalent of a car payment into the account every month for those 3 years. This is the part that has no story, no moment, no pivot, no turning point anyone would want to watch. Just 72-hour windows, month after month, with $200 moving before you could spend it, and then $400, and then $600, quietly, without ceremony, while everyone around you formed a picture of your life based on the apartment and the car and the gray t-shirt and the fact that you never seemed to have extra money for the group trip to Nashville or the friend's destination wedding in Scottsdale. You didn't go to Scottsdale. You said you couldn't swing it financially. This was technically true in the sense that you had chosen to put that money somewhere else. It was also the most convenient explanation because the alternative, I have $340,000 invested and I don't want to spend $2,800 on a wedding weekend in Arizona, was not a sentence that would have landed well at the time. So you said you couldn't swing it. And the picture people had of you solidified a little more. By 31, the account crossed $400,000 and you told no one. By 32, it crossed $500,000 during a month when your mother sent you a card with $50 inside because she thought you might need it. You deposited the $50. You did not tell her about the $500,000. You wrote her a thank you note because the gesture was real regardless of the number and you understood that. The hardest part is not the silence. You made peace with the silence a long time ago. The hardest part is the specific weight of watching someone you love worry about you from inside a picture that is completely wrong. Your father mentioned last Thanksgiving that you should think about your retirement. He said it carefully, the way he says things he's been holding for a while. He is 61. He has $94,000 in a 401k and a pension that will cover most of his expenses, and he built that carefully over 35 years and he is proud of it and he should be. He was trying to help his son. You said you had been putting some money away. He nodded in the encouraging way of someone who heard something smaller than what you meant. You let him hear it that way. You are not sure you will ever tell him the actual number. Not because you don't trust him. Because the number would change what you are to each other and you are not ready to find out what you become on the other side of it. $900,000. It will cross $1 million before the end of the year if the market does what markets tend to do over time. You have run the numbers. You know approximately when. You will be 35 years old and you will have $1 million and you will very likely be wearing this same gray t-shirt and eating toast over the sink and nobody in your life will know it happened. That used to feel lonely. Some mornings it still does. But somewhere in the last 2 years you arrived at something that took you a long time to name. The silence is not a cost anymore. It is the product. The invisibility you built, the gray t-shirt, the old car, the Scottsdale you didn't go to, the apartment with the light that wasn't worth $340 more a month, was never about the money it saved. It was about the life it protected. The life where your mother calls on a Tuesday because she wants to talk to you. Where your father gives advice at Thanksgiving because he still believes you need it. Where Dana covers for you because you are colleagues who look after each other. Where the group chat is still just the group chat and not something that has to navigate around what you have. You built $900,000 in silence. Not because you were hiding. Because some things only stay whole in the quiet.